back, everybody, to episode 3 of Over and Back Live. Today, we got a very special guest. Some of us know him very well. This is Coach Christopher Moses. Um, Chris, would you like to introduce yourself? Give everybody a little rundown of where you've been at and what you're doing now.
Obviously, like you said, my name is Chris Moses. I'm born and raised in Clarksville, Tennessee, about 30 minutes north. 30 minutes north of Nashville, Tennessee. Um, I do skill development training under the basketball handle Make It Look Easy. I've been blessed to travel all over the country and work with some of the top players from the youth all the way up through the NBA and WNBA. I spent some time coaching. I had some stints at Western Kentucky where I was just at recently there as a student assistant or grad assistant, and where I focused primarily on just the development, skill development of players, and mentoring them. And since then, I've accepted the head coaching job for a semi-pro team, Clarksville Phoenix, ranked in the top 25 in the country. And I just won my first professional game.
I want to say congratulations on that as well.
Yeah,
Very happy to
congrats.
see you there. What's been the most enjoyable part of your career so far?
Just the growth, the journey. I'm really from the very beginning. I set out to, just get to the highest level possible, and make the biggest impact not only for myself and my players, but for the community. And I've been blessed to be able to do all those things. So just the journey, just the ups and the downs, and just being able to, you know, a lot of people get caught when you're in the journey. You get caught up in getting to where you're going. But I sometimes I'm blessed to have time to look back and see how far I've came. So just being able to wake up every day and basketball be my job is the best part about it.
Of course, of course. Um, how did that make the first win make you feel? And did you have any yeah, just how did that first win feel for you finally getting a first win as a head coach and for a professional team?
It was a great feeling. There was a lot of time put in. I took the job fairly late due to me going through the process of the interview process with a couple NBA G League organizations. So at the conclusion of going through all of that process, unfortunately I didn't get a job, and then I took the opportunity to coach the Clarksville Phoenix very late. I actually only had 6 practices with them and 2 scrimmages. So having to just hustle and bustle and get into that. So I was very proud of myself for being able to take the talent that I have, which I do have a very talented roster, but to be able to put them out there and look organized and were able to perform and execute at the level that I expected them to. So being able to get the win at the end was great. Unfortunately, due to some unfortunate events, we weren't able to finish. That we were winning. It was 53 seconds left when some unfortunate events happened. So we didn't get to, I guess, officially finish the game, but it felt good knowing that my preparation was enough, was more than enough. So
For you, I'm gonna be sure to pop out to one of the games for sure this season. But
definitely, I think we come to Louisville.
of course, of course. I'm gonna just give you a little rundown on how we do the show every week. So we start off with our over and back power rankings of our top 10 teams in the NBA. And before we get into our top 10, does anybody else have any questions for Chris?
I do. I just wanted to know, what do you think, in your opinion, is the biggest difference from working with younger kids all the way up to professionals? Like, what is the difference in how they work, like in workouts and practice, like the work ethic difference?
I was about to ask the same thing.
The biggest, so that's a great, first off, that's a great question. And that is something I just literally got the answer to that over these last year or two. Um, so the lower the level, the less you expect from them as far as basketball skill. So you hold them to a lower, the lower level you hold them as far as execution and athleticism and just skill set. But the lower the level is also the lower ego that comes with the player. So let's say if I'm coaching a junior pro team or a YMCA team, I expect them to miss layups. I'm not going to be as angry at them as I would a middle school team of missing legs. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I also understand the expectation of them being coachable and not having an ego and not talking back and all that is at a lower level too. So at the higher level you get, as you go up the level, the ego is a lot larger, but the expectation for their skill set and their execution is a lot higher too. So you got to continue, of course, as a coach and in any organization or anything in the workforce, or whatever, you're going to always have to, when you're in a position of supervision or you want or ownership, you want to make sure that you always uh, have the respect level and you control the egos and all of that. But um, it's just more understanding when you're dealing with it at the higher levels. So, but as far as the workouts, the training is different to an extent where for the amount of reps that you do things may be a lot lower at the pro level because they already do it at a high level. It may just low impact because you're more concerned about them not getting injured or overworked, and they pretty much mastered the game at the highest level. Obviously, if you're in the NBA or you're playing in the professional ranks, whereas in high school, you may do, for example, in a season, you may make 300 or 400 shots after practice in college. In the NBA, man, you might make 100 and go home after a practice. You see what I mean? Because
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're at a certain level where their skill set is so high, where they don't need as many reps to adjust as players would at the lower levels.
Yeah, I definitely see that. I actually coached too. This was my first year coaching. I was lucky
Okay.
to be able to join my dad's AAU program and come out the gate with one of the best eighth grade teams in the city. So
Mm.
I was in a predicament of I had a lot of talent and they kind of led us to a lot of wins. And now I'm coaching at an elementary school where it's completely different.
Oof.
Like these kids haven't played basketball before, so it's definitely a big skill gap. But like you
Well,
said, they
that's
don't have to be
daycare with a basketball.
literally.
Yeah, so no, and at that age group, if these are your beginning years of coaching, that's a great spot to start at. I actually started my coaching debut as a middle school coach. So I coached 2 years of middle school basketball as a head coach, and then I coached 1 year of high school as a top assistant at Christian County in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. And then obviously this was my first year in college, and now as a pro. So no, you're starting at a beautiful age. Eighth grade is beautiful because in middle school they're old enough to understand and be held accountable, but they're dumb enough where they can't do too much. Like they still got to listen to you. They still got a lot to learn. So that's a perfect place. So I look forward to seeing you grow in the coaching ranks, and I know that's it's always an amazing experience being able to, of course, coach, but spend that time with your father. So,
Appreciate that.
um,
Cam, do you wanna get into our top 10 or do you want me to
Uh, do you have it pulled up already or no?
yeah, I got it pulled up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Then you go ahead and do it for us.
All right, starting with our top 10 NBA teams going into the season. Is this week 3 or week 4?
I believe this is week 3 of the NBA. Well, this is gonna be our third top 10. So yes, this is week
Third
3.
top 10. Okay. So we have the Bucks at number 1, the Suns at number 2, the Celtics at 3, the Cavs at 4, the Warriors at 5, the Blazers at 6, the Pelicans at 7, the Nuggets at 8, the Grizzlies at 9, and the Raptors at 10. So with all of those being said, is there any that jump off of the page to y'all as questionable or just something you have a comment on? I know that I have a comment on the Cavs. We talked about the Cavs a lot last week. They moved up to number 4 on the list, passing the Warriors. They over a lot of teams that have history to me. Like you got a team like the Nuggets, they've had playoff history. The Warriors they're coming off of a championship. So for a young team like that to be so high early on, it kind of it seems off to me, but they have the record to prove it. They just came off of a win against the Celtics Sunday or Saturday, but I think that they will be good, but I don't. They seem a little high to me at 4, but I rock with the Cavs, so they look all right.
I'm not mad at the Cavs being that high. I am a little biased because the Cleveland Cavaliers gave me my first opportunity with Summer League a couple years ago. But just looking at the foundation pieces of the staff, the coaching staff has been together for years. Even when they weren't coaching at Cleveland, I know they had a stint together. That same group was together in Memphis. Uh, the coaching staff been just having that communication and understanding everybody be on the same page. A lot of times, of course, it's the players. Everybody sees the players, but the coaching staff, it starts at the top. So with the coaching staff being on the same page and all of that, it makes it a lot easier to make a bigger impact on your players. And then the foundation pieces of their team, they were young and they played their guys young. Darius and them got to play through mistakes. Obviously, with Colin being traded, but who you got coming in for him was, you know, not a bad pickup. I think he fits their style of play. Obviously, he has God given abilities and one of the best players in the world. And I think it just fits. Then with the young guys, Evan, with Mosley, and them, like those guys just fit. They have a foundation there. So I think, like you said, with them being successful last year, everybody's confidence is up and everybody knows their roles and just bringing in very few pieces, but the pieces that you do bring in are so impactful. And like I said, with the style of play, I think that it's not a coincidence that I think the people who are in the NBA or just around the NBA, like yourself, the staff, the media, aren't surprised. But Golden State is who I want to say. Like, please, like, don't sleep on them. Like, they got two of the best shooters in the world to ever play. Uh, you got to remember they got some young guys that are coming off the bench that are playing larger roles than they were previously. Um, so I think by the end of the year, and then obviously the stuff they had going on in house, the drama, whatever, and that they're not familiar with that kind of drama and stuff. They pretty much run a tight ship over there. So
Mhm.
any kind of commotion kind of throws them off, has a larger impact than maybe some of these other organizations in the league. But I think, man, after Christmas, they're gonna be hard to
Yeah.
deal with.
Yeah, I
But
agree
other
with
than
that.
that, I'm not too mad about that. I like Ja and them. Like Memphis, obviously, me being a Tennessee guy. I seen them play last year in the playoffs versus the Timberwolves. So obviously I'm a big Ja fan, and as long as those role players continue to just elevate and Ja continues to learn to continue to elevate, they'll be fine. I got to see New Orleans Pelicans play the Charlotte Hornets a couple weeks back on the Charlotte Hornets home opener. Brandon Ingram is a basket. Like I'm telling you right now, people are not talking about him enough. Like he is a basket case. Uh, him and CJ, I think are going to be a great fit. So I mean, right now, it's early.
Yep.
You never know with these trades and just injuries, and then every year is always some player, two or three players that come from out of nowhere with amazing stories and end up playing out of their minds. So I'm excited to see. But I think right now, y'all ain't too far off with these rankings.
Cam, you got anything about him?
Yeah, I was gonna say mainly starting off with the Cavs. The Cavs have exceeded expectations like out of this world so far. Early on in the season, they're looking very, very good. And tonight is going to be Darius Garland's first game back. So they're number 4 in our rankings already, and Darius Garland is coming back tonight. That's going to be something fun to watch, especially to see how him and Donovan Mitchell are going to work out. Donovan's been going off. Maybe his numbers might slip a little bit, but as a team, they're looking amazing right now. With Darius coming back, it's going to look even better. And like Chris said, like he has a very good point. The coaching staff is a very, very big reason here that they're playing well together as a team, as a unit, and that's why they're so high in our rankings so far. Obviously, the Warriors are an amazing team, talent wise, and coming off the championship. But they're 3-5 so far. They started off number 1, I believe, in our episode 1 at our power rankings, but they've been slipping like recently. They're 3-5 so far. We all believe that the Golden State Warriors will bounce back, and where they're at right now, that's not a bad spot for them. I don't think so, but they're definitely going to bounce back. It's not a question for me. So I feel like right now where they're at, it may be kind of questionable with the talent, but at the same time, that's going to be fun to watch when they get everything clicking and get back to winning. And just to think back just a few years ago, this team was 73-9, and now they're starting off 3-5. Even though KD was a big part of that, that just shows you how rare that 73-9 season was. Like they were coming in and out game in, game out, just dominating teams about 40 points, like going into the fourth quarter. Like it wasn't even a question if they were going to win or lose every night. Like it was extremely rare to watch. And I feel like if you weren't tuning into those games, you were missing out. And here's why: because now they're starting off 3-5, and well, we believe they'll bounce back, but it's definitely not the same domination that we used to see in the past. So um, what other teams that we have in there? The Pelicans, for sure. They're another team just like the Cavaliers. They're young and they have a great foundation, and everybody's just playing well together. And that's becoming a good trend in the league today, because now it's not just your star players are going to get you to the top. I mean, Giannis is doing it with his team, but they're a good team as well. That's why they're number one in our opinion. But it's just like a good team is going to be one good player every single time, night in and night out, and that's why you see the Pelicans high up right now. You see the Blazers are playing out of their mind right now as well. You see the Cavaliers, and right outside of my top 10, I would have the Jazz, and they're playing well right now. They don't really have a star go-to guy. Lauri Markkanen's playing good. He's looking like he can be a star in the future, and so is Colin Sexton. But I mean, these good teams, these good young teams that played well together, they're winning basketball games right now, and I love to see it.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with what you said about teams not going to the superstar route no more. I was having this conversation with my dad the other day because I was watching the Jazz play. And it's like when you look at a team like the Jazz who doesn't really have a guy, but when you see how well they all fit together, like they always make the extra pass. They always just gonna hit the open like a driving kick. Like they're not selfish. They don't have a guy who's coming down and like he's gonna take a shot. Like he's gonna be the one that's trying to get the ball to. They play as a unit. So I think that playing as a unit is just becoming so much more of a thing in today's game again because it was before, but when LeBron came in with the super teams, it kind of people start going towards superstardom. But I think you really got to have a team to win an NBA championship now. Like we seen last year with the Celtics. The Celtics took out the Nets first round because there was Kevin Durant. They keyed in on Kevin Durant. They would take Kevin Durant out of games, and that was their whole thing. But when they came across the Warriors, a unit that's a whole team where the whole team works together the way that they do, it was more of a challenge for the Celtics. So I think that we won't really see one player beating teams anymore. I think basketball is going to really be more of a team game than it is because it's always been a team game. But I think you got to have all of those pieces now to be a championship caliber team.
To add on to that, you made a great point, saying that the game, like the organizations are not just going to just stack up, going to go chase superstars. I seen Patrick Beverly. He made an amazing quote in one of his post game interviews. He said the league is full of superstars and role players. And right now, like I said, if you as you can see with the Lakers, the talent is there. They got two of the best players in the world. Whether whoever what people feel about AD is their business, but AD is one of the best players in the world. And it's consensus from all the players in the NBA. The role players, the issues that the Lakers are having right now is they can't find shooters. Right. So a guy, Matt Ryan, is a gentleman that I met during my time in Cleveland. He played in the G League. I think he finished with Boston last year and actually made the playoff roster for the Celtics last year. But he could shoot the cover off the ball. One of the drills that we were working on a defensive drill in Cleveland, and he wasn't in the defensive drill. He was actually the shooter. He was on the coaches group, and they just had him, getting those contested three, getting reps up against the closeouts and stuff like that. Right? They were working on defensive shifts. One time they swung it to Matt, and Matt didn't shoot the ball. And coach literally told him, I don't care if four people go out here and close out on you. Shoot the ball. Right? And it's crazy. Like when I heard him, I'm like, man, that's crazy. Like, but in hindsight, he go a couple weeks later, they go to Las Vegas for Summer League, and he's shooting the cover off the ball. And now you look, somebody who was fighting for an opportunity to make a Summer League roster is now on one of the prime time, one of the most storied organizations ever in any sport, the Lakers, and playing with LeBron, he's sitting next to LeBron and AD and Russ and those guys. Not only is he on the roster, but he's an integral piece to what the Lakers need. So role players are being more are more essential now, and they're getting paid for it. So
Right.
Absolutely.
uh, that's very important for the kids, for the youth to see also. Yeah, going to go score 50 points is great, but at this point, the way the game is playing now, it's going to get to a point where it's not going to be uh, positions. It's going to be positionless. It's going to be the biggest, strongest, fastest, skilled players on the league. So on the floor. So it's very important that guys put more pride into shooting and knowing how to cut and being able to play defense on the ball, off the ball, understanding the game and just the schemes and of the game because those things are going to be those intricate skills are going to be game changing for them at all levels, and it's affecting, like I said, high school teams, middle school teams, college teams. So definitely.
You bring up a very good point. I think basketball is taking uh, a very straight point to the future with everybody being super talented at super peculiar heights that we have never seen. Like we have 6'10" guards, 6'8" guards that are coming up and flying up and down the floor, dunking on everybody, shooting threes. We've never seen anything like this, and they're playing their role too. And those guys are some of the most like unknown guys in the league nowadays. That's not something you would see 10, 15 years ago. So you bring up a very good point there. Um, I wanted to bring up a question about the Nets as we talked about them a little bit there. How do y'all feel about the firing of Steve Nash? Well, not the firing, but they parted ways with Steve Nash.
Business.
Yeah.
And you get hey, basketball. I tell just like I tell my kids, well, my clients, basketball is just like life. It is based on performance. You get paid for what you do, not for what you try to do. Regardless of who you are, at a certain point, you're gonna get to a place where who you are doesn't matter. Where what you do matters. And I think Steve Nash is a great coach, and he's a great young coach. And for the most part, a lot of young coaches go through this. And I think he's going to bounce back and be just fine if he can play at a high level. And I know, especially at the point guard position, he'll be very capable of figuring that out as a coach. So I hate it for him because obviously that was a big time job and a lot of eyes and stuff on him because he was in a larger market. Because if he was in a smaller town market, I don't think the pressure would be on him as much as it is now. But I think, I mean, Brooklyn did what they felt like they needed to do business wise, and I think this gives Steve another opportunity, sit back and recalibrate his coaching staff and his coaching philosophies, and he'll get another opportunity, just like the Boston coach did, and just like many of others have done. So he'll get an opportunity, and I think he'll do great at the next one.
Yeah, and like I agree with what you said. I think that Steve was really thrown into an unfortunate situation because he came in to a team where the expectation was championship. Like he was expected to win a championship his first year as a head coach. I just don't think that he had realistic expectations from the beginning. So he was really in an unfair position. But like you said, things had to happen the way they did. He did have a talented roster, and they had their ups and downs. Hopefully, Ime could do more with them, but I really just think that Brooklyn overall doesn't have the best situation to win a championship. So I give some of the blame to Steve Nash, but I think a lot of that is personnel too, though.
Mm.
Did you have anything to say about Steve Nash and parting ways with the Brooklyn Nets?
You talking about me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I just don't think he fit. I don't think like it was a good fit for him. And then the thing about Katie and Kyrie is, I don't know. I think Ime Udoka do a better job in Brooklyn. Definitely, I feel like he'll be able to mesh well with their personalities. But I honestly think Katie and Kyrie is just. I think too much. Even though Steve Nash, I wouldn't say he did a great job coaching, but I wouldn't give him all the blame either because I don't think no matter what coach you put in Brooklyn, I still don't think they would have won the championship, and they probably would have did the same thing as they did with Steve Nash. So I know they try to kind of scapegoat him and say that like this is kind of like the reason why we're not going where we need to go. But I just don't think KD and Kyrie as a duo are going to get it done in this day and age. I can't see them coming out the East anytime soon. So we'll see what Udoka can do with them. They'll definitely be better, and then they'll be more well coached. But just the way their team is constructed, and them two as those, I don't see them two really as leaders. I love them both, but I really put them as Robins instead of Batmans, and I think they both want to be Batman.
KD's a Robin.
Yeah, KD.
Oh
KD,
my God!
I don't know. He's like an elite Robin. I don't think KD's a Batman.
You talking about Kevin Durant?
I'm talking about Kevin Durant.
KD dropped 36 last night.
Well, I know who can look. KD will be a top 10 player all time. I love KD. He's one of my favorite players. But to him to go out and lead a team to a championship from now until he retires, it's not gonna happen.
Are you saying it because he's not vocal? Like, what is your reasoning for that?
I just never seen it. It's like KD, especially with Kyrie. I don't want to hear it. And I love Kyrie too, but Kyrie started going downhill a little bit when he left Cleveland and he wanted to become his own leader. And then he had his own experiment in Boston and that failed too. And it'd be different if he went out and he performed and he didn't have enough help, but he didn't lead Boston the way he was supposed to do. He was a head case in the locker room there. And I wouldn't say KD's a head case, but I just don't see him leading a team to a championship. Like he's not like LeBron in terms of when it comes to he's not even Steph in terms of leading a team. He can't do it like they can do it. But
you hold on. I know y'all got a lot of topics, but I just got to ask a couple questions.
Good.
When KD won it with Golden State, who was the best player?
That's a great question. It can really look in 2017. I'm gonna say Kevin Durant because he took over that finals. He did take over that finals. 2018. I think that's a toss up.
Do you know how much attention? Do you know how much easier life got for Stephen Curry?
Whoa.
Just hear me. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
If you are another team, who's your favorite NBA team?
I'm a Knicks fan.
All right, it's the Knicks. If you are coaching the Knicks and y'all got to play Golden State Warriors with KD, which one do you think you have to give more attention to?
Steph, easily. No one in the NBA draws more attention than Steph Curry. He's been like no one in the NBA besides maybe in that.
We talking about when KD was on the Warriors team with Steph.
Any KD versus any Steph. KD does not draw more attention from a defense than Steph Curry. Steph Curry moves off the ball. He's running around off screens. If you take your eyes off of Steph Curry, you know what time it is. And same with KD too. He's gonna gas you. He's gonna give you 30. He's gonna do all that. But he does not draw more attention on defense than Steph Curry. He does not.
The system that they have at Golden State has a lot to do. Steph Curry is the best shooter in the world.
Yeah.
Nothing to talk about. But the system that they play in has a lot. Well, I ain't gonna say it has a lot. It correlates
with Steph's success.
Is that with the success.
But do you think that same success can get replicated with any team? That's how good Steph is. He's one of the best. He's one of the best offensive weapons ever. You can put him in any team. Any team, and it's gonna be the same thing.
The Golden State Warriors was the first time KD was on a team where he didn't have to have the ball in his hand for them to get a decent shot.
I agree. With me, I'm saying that for one, absolutely KD.
You got to put a center on KD. He's 7 foot.
Yeah.
And he shoots from half court.
Nobody ever can guard KD.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Did Steph, if I'm not mistaken, not just lead the Warriors to a championship last season? No, as a leader.
He did, Rob. He did. Hold on.
Along with KD, arguably the top 5 next best shooter to ever play.
What are you saying? Yes,
that's my opinion. But
You
But
talk about he won it.
Steph
Hold
still
on. Are
has
you
to lead his
asking
team
me,
to a
did he
championship.
win it with the guy that scored like 38 off 7 dribbles? Is that the gentleman you're asking me he won it with?
Yeah,
And,
and he's not
Has,
even in his
Katie
prime
ever
yet.
played
And
with
he's
somebody
not
that,
even in
that
his
was that
prime no
good?
more. And he
What?
wasn't even in his prime no more.
Who?
he's talking about Clay.
Clay's not
That
even in
shot
his
don't fade.
Clay's gonna have to ramp it up.
Rob. What we trying to say to you is that if
Clay is
you
one
look,
of the best two-way players in the league. That is
No,
consistent.
Clay's great. He's great.
listen though,
So what are we
Rob.
But
talking about?
Listen,
They were just arguing that he's in the top 75. That was a big thing. Like that was like a real thing. Like
in the top five, what?
top
Top
75
75.
ever
NBA
played the
75.
game of basketball.
No. Top 75 players ever. Clay, they was talking about how
They
Clay
were
was a snub
bad.
and how
People
he
were
should have been.
pissed.
Yeah.
People were pissed.
Yeah. Can you name? Hey, look. Can you name a championship team where a dude didn't have somebody great alongside him? When's the last time we've seen a player in the NBA lead his team to a ring with not a great second option? You got to have somebody on your team. That don't mean why didn't KD win it with Kyrie? He's got Kyrie. Why didn't he win the
Because
championship?
Kyrie, it's
Steph
levels
won
to
the
it.
ring when KD left.
We're not
No, yes,
comparing.
there is levels to
Yeah.
it.
So listen to what you're saying. Kyrie was playing with LeBron, the best, arguably the top two, one of the top two players to ever play the game. It's Jordan and him.
Yeah.
Just them two, and I love Kobe, but it's
Yeah, I
Jordan
agree.
and him. All right.
Yeah.
Steph Curry had Klay Thompson, arguably top 5 best shooter to ever fucking play the game, arguably one of the best two-way players to ever play the game, along with an amazing system.
Yeah.
KD had Kyrie off the championship. That's
Yeah.
different.
Yes.
It's so different.
But guess what?
So when
Who chose to
KD
that
can go play
ball?
with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, he can go get 40
Yeah.
on one-on-one matchups because you got to put a good player on somebody else. You got to put another good player on Klay Thompson. You can't leave Klay. You can't leave Klay in the corner. You can't leave Steph in the other corner. So now when I'm at the top of the key, then what?
Another
But
thing
you
I'd
can't
like to
put
add.
Steph and Kyrie together and he still put up the same numbers. Or it looks nasty, not with the same efficiency. KD efficient wherever he go. His numbers don't change wherever he go.
that's a
They
fact.
don't
Fuck
dip.
the system.
I mean,
Fuck teammates.
Steph's one of the most efficient players ever, too. So I mean,
So then,
Steph's
how
one
is
of the most ever.
KD don't have a system. Give him the ball. It's his system.
that's what my
I
point
don't
is.
think
That's what my point is with this whole
that's
thing, Rob.
either. You can put Steph. You can put Steph anywhere. He's gonna do the same
You can
exact
put
No,
thing.
Steph
All you got to
anywhere.
do
You can put Steph
anywhere.
anywhere. So you can put
Put
Steph
Steph anywhere.
you can put Steph on the Charlotte Hornets right now. And Steph put up
If
the
you
same
put
efficiency,
Steph
same
on the
numbers,
Hornets right now, look.
and he
If you
would be
put
as
Steph on the
efficient.
Hornets right
He
now,
would be as
they will
efficient.
they will change their entire system around
Listen
Steph
to what you're
Curry, and he's
saying.
gonna do
That's what I'm
that
trying to tell
same
you.
thing.
He's saying
And that's the
you gotta
difference.
change the system for him. With KD,
KD,
you just throw
40,
KD in there and you give him the
40.
ball, he's get you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just in terms of play style.
No,
That don't I mean that's
But
no.
that's a Batman. That's a Batman.
that's
That's a
a
Batman right
preference.
there.
Y'all
Okay,
talking
let me
about
ask you this. If me and you are on the team, if
yeah,
I average 20 and Rick don't got to do nothing, he don't got to run the offense, he don't got to change nothing for me, right? I can just go out there and get him 20, right?
yeah.
But if Rick puts you in, he got to run certain plays for you to get the same amount of points I got. Who's better?
You're the better scorer.
Who's
That's not the
better?
only aspect of basketball though.
Okay. Look, so let's go through the check box. You gonna hang yourself.
No,
Who's bigger? Who's bigger?
wait, before you get into this, are you trying to tell me that KD is better than Steph at basketball?
Yes.
No,
Not
Steph
right
is
now.
better.
Not right now. Not right now. Not right now. Not right now.
No. I ain't
No,
gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all dragging it because you gotta include the other aspects of basketball.
Okay, cool.
Kevin Durant is a way better off-ball defender and on-ball defender than Stephen Curry. A
No,
better
look.
rebounder.
7 foot.
And
How tall is Steph?
he's 7 foot,
How tall is Steph?
6'3" on a good
6'3".
day.
Fuck it. Let's give him 6'4". KD 7 foot. Okay.
Yeah,
Speed and length. That's even. Steph ain't the fastest motherfucker you ever seen.
Nah, he's not.
Okay, and KD doesn't even try to play fast.
At
Right?
all. He plays at his own speed.
Okay, so cool.
But I got
Shooting
something
ability.
for y'all.
Shooting ability, Steph gets that. Steph wins that.
Yeah.
Not
but
a
it's
lot.
not a big old gap.
Yeah, not a
It's
lot.
not here.
No, that's not
Remember,
a huge
it's
gap.
not here.
KD probably like a top 10 shooter in NBA.
And Steph
I'll
is
give
number
him
one.
that.
And Steph is number
Yeah.
one, right? Okay. Rebounding.
Kevin.
That's KD. He's 7 foot.
Okay. Passing, I'll give it to Steph because the system, but KD, I mean, he don't have nobody to fucking pass to. So, because his second best player has to have the ball in his hand and dribble. He don't have nobody that plays off the ball with him. Right? So we'll give
And Ben Simmons runs the system over there too.
Yeah.
fucking play with Ben.
Which is
Who
also
the
his
fuck is he
fault.
gonna pass?
Which is also his fault. Which is KD's fault because he decided to leave and go play with. He wanted to play with Kyrie. That's on KD. I don't feel sorry for KD. I love him to death, but he wanted to go. He wanted to go to Brooklyn and deal with Kyrie, and now you see what it's working out. Now he see how it works out. Now he will not win a ring in Brooklyn. He will not win another ring unless he joins another team. Or Kyrie's gonna have to go. That duo will not win a championship.
I do
You
want to
heard it
ask
here
you this.
first.
If you don't have anybody to pass to, does that mean you're a better passer? Does that mean I'm not a better passer than you? Just because I don't have anybody to pass to?
Nah,
Because assist takes two. You got to pass it, and then they got to make it.
Then KD.
If
Still,
I'm creating the opportunities, and you can't, if I create an opportunity for you to pass, assist ain't just pass to the wide open man. If I create the opportunity for you, and then you don't take advantage of it, now I don't get the assist. My pass, the opportunity I created, I don't get credit for. So if I don't have anybody that can take advantage of the opportunity I create, does that mean I'm not a good passer?
No, that's not. I ain't saying KD's not a good passer. I'm KD can pass. He's had some years where he's averaged 5 or more assists and stuff like that. I'm not saying you don't have no passing ability, but he's not a better facilitator than Steph. Here's my point though. You know what's crazy? We just went down the line. Of all these intangibles that KD has over Steph, right? All them check boxes over on KD's side instead of Steph's side, right? Why has Steph accomplished more in the NBA than KD has, and KD has all those intangibles over him?
Do you know how many things have to go right to win?
Do
you know how many things have to go right to win?
No, and forget about win. We can talk about MVP. We can talk about MVPs. He's got an MVP over him.
Do you know how many things have to go right to win MVP?
Yeah, you got to go out there and you got to get it. And Steph's the only unanimous MVP in NBA history. Michael Jordan didn't even do that.
Triple doubles and all of that, and he was MVP that 1 year. But once you do it again, it's like, you take it for granted. Now motherfuckers don't give a fuck about Russ triple doubles because they seen you do it already.
It was the same with Harden. When Harden was dropping 30 every single night, and he was dropping.
No, they winning. They winning.
But y'all are comparing dudes that they've never won anything. Harden's never been to the finals. Westbrook has no ring.
The system, literally, and we're just talking about playing basketball because we all know good players on trash teams.
Yeah.
So you can't gauge somebody's skill set or talent because they're on a bad team because it takes 5 to win. Now, if we had a one-on-one league, then I can see. But since it's 5-on-5, you can't win a championship by yourself. Because like you said, who else wins without help? And that only
you definitely gotta have some help.
He be having a lot of help. He got one of the best coaches, one of the best systems, and he's getting the best players.
Benches as well. Bench plays a huge part as well.
But who did it start with though? Steph is that dynasty.
Clay was right there too. Are you crazy?
They was
Clay was there too, but Clay doesn't get nearly enough. He don't get anywhere close to the same credit that Steph gets. Clay's that man.
He ain't Steph.
But it goes Clay and Steph. There's a big gap. There's a huge gap between them two. A huge gap. In my opinion, Steph's a top 10 player of all time. Clay is nowhere close to being top 10 all time. And KD's knocking on the door. I'd probably put KD at like 11. But Steph's already top 10. After that 4th championship and finals MVP, Steph's a top 10 player ever. KD's not in there yet.
Clay, I have to leave. I'm not mad at that. Clay, I have to leave and do it out the shadows. I think he in the
Yeah,
shadows.
I
and he
wanted him to
can't
do
do
that
that.
years ago. I wanted him to
He's
Yeah,
do
been
that
a
years
second
ago.
and
option
Clay.
his whole career, so it's kind of hard to
Yeah,
compare a second option to a guy who's been given the keys since his
Yeah.
rookie season.
yeah,
And before Clay got injured, I was pleading for him to go to a team with a good little system like the Heat. Maybe I don't know. I just wanted Clay to not be with Steph for a little bit, but it looks like we're not ever gonna get to see that. So we'll always see Clay as a
yeah,
Robin or a third guy when Katie was on the team, which
yeah.
is hard to see. But
So hold on, just I
it,
like
that's
that you
his,
said that though, Cam, because you said that Clay is a Robin. You think that
Mm.
Clay and Kevin Durant are on the same playing field of being?
No, no,
at
no,
all.
no, 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 no. I ain't want to get. I ain't. I don't get it confused.
That was
KD.
K.
This is this is what I'm thinking. KD's talent level. He's got way more than a Batman talent level. But there's more that comes to it though. Think about, do you put KD and LeBron on the same level in
You don't
terms
put
of
Steph
you can't
on.
put
You
them
don't
on the
put
same
nobody
level?
on the same with LeBron. LeBron is
Yeah,
a
yeah.
leader
Not
vocally,
even Steph.
mentally. He coaching. He doing everything
Yeah,
but putting the tie on and having the suit
yeah,
on the side. If he could do both, if you could
He
legally in the
would.
game do that, he would be. So
yeah.
as a
Like Bill
leader,
Russell.
that's different.
Yeah, he probably could. He probably would.
That's different.
Yeah,
You
that
can't.
no, it is different. But Steph is closer. Steph is closer on that spectrum to LeBron than KD is. No question. No question.
I don't
Steph
know.
is closer when it comes to being a Batman and leading a team and having all that
What do you?
package.
What does Steph do? What do you see Steph do? Like, okay, like you know how we talk about LeBron. Not only
Yeah.
just we're not just going off LeBron's stats, but everybody like you can see LeBron. Everybody says he's calling out the defenses. He's telling you what like he literally is playing chess out there, right? We've heard those LeBron
Yeah.
stories a million and one times, right?
Mhm.
What do you see Steph do that makes you feel like he's such a leader?
First off, one, like I said, he started this dynasty in 2014. Steph was a quality. He was a quality NBA point guard. He was good. This is when he started to get. This is when he started to make a name for himself, really. And then in 2015, when he had that MVP season, that's when he started
I
ramping it up
asked you
for
what
real.
he do. I'm asking you
What?
what does he do? I know his
What?
numbers. I know that. We know the
Yes.
numbers. What
What do you
does he
mean?
do
He's
that gives
leading
him
his
the
team
leadership
to
capability?
success. He's leading his team to
So
success.
when Russell
He's
Westbrook got the
hitting
triple
shots
double, was he a leader? Was he a leader
in a
when he got the
sense, but
MVP?
yeah, what did it amount to?
Hell no. Hell no, he wasn't the leader of that damn team when he was getting them triple doubles.
So who's the leader of the 2017 Thunder then? Victor Oladipo?
Man, listen, he wasn't leading. He was out
Yeah,
there playing hard.
yeah. He led him to a first round loss. That's what he led him to. And
He was
Steph
out there
is leading.
playing hard. He ain't
Yeah,
leading shit.
yeah. And Steph is playing even harder, and he's got 4 rings to back it up.
All of
All
us done worked for supervisors that wasn't worth a quarter, that didn't know nothing. They just had the position. So
Nah,
that don't make them a super. They just got the run. That don't mean they supervising. They just
my
there.
point is
Hey,
Steph is more of a Batman than KD, especially after last year. As soon as he left, he got another ring. Oh,
hey, y'all gonna
the,
have to bring me back on this show.
right.
I can tell you
the
this right
Warriors,
now.
the Warriors can't do this. Soon as KD left, they blah blah blah. They thought the Warriors dynasty was over. And what did Steph do? And he was the
It's the
best
same
player
system.
by
It's
far
the
in the
same
finals.
system. Jordan
Yes.
Poole coming in doing anybody in that system. If you can shoot, if you can run, and if you can catch, you can play in that system.
I gotta agree with that.
Don't hate the players. Don't hate the players. If I mean
Dante
if it works, it works.
Allen from Western right now, he can go play in at Luke. Any of them can go be successful. Anybody who catch and shoot can go play for them right now.
Yeah, they like shooters, but it's a winning formula of basketball.
It's a
And if
great
other
formula,
teams are smart, and if other teams are smart, they would try to replicate that. So
and
you
that's
can't
what I'm
blame Steph.
telling you. No,
Yes,
I'm not blaming Steph. I'm just not giving him the
yeah.
credit for it. That's
What?
all.
You got to give him all the credit. He's the only person
Why?
that's doing it, and he's the
Well,
greatest shooter ever. It starts
No.
with him. He
what Chris
revolutionized the game of basketball. It starts with Steph. It
Wait, no,
literally
no, no,
starts with
no.
him.
What Chris is trying to say here is that it starts with at the helm where the coaches are, and what you're
Coach.
trying to say here,
No. If
Okay,
Steph
look.
look, if Steph, let me say something real fast. If Steph said, "I'm retiring today. I won't play for the Warriors." What do you think the Warriors record's going to be? It don't matter what shooter you put. They can add 50% shooters in the it don't matter who you add to that Warriors team. that engine will not run nearly as smooth without Steph. And everybody knows that. Everybody knows that.
Steph's
Everybody
a
knows
great
that.
player. Nobody's going to sit here and deny that. But
Yes.
they wouldn't be a bottom feeder team in the league. I guarantee that.
They wouldn't be contending for a championship. I can tell you that. They
I mean,
wouldn't
obviously,
contend for a
No,
championship
no.
ever
Yeah,
again without Steph.
that's a, don't. I wouldn't
I
say
don't
that, but
know
they
ever.
wouldn't be. They wouldn't be as good. I do give you that
You
because
know what I
Steph
mean?
is so
In this
elite.
dynasty, in this
Steph is
era, in
so
this era.
elite. Steph
okay.
is so
But
elite.
wait a second here. If the Nets didn't have KD and they just had Kyrie leading their team, as Kyrie is the Robin on that team as of right now, if KD left that team, where would the Nets be?
They
With
would
just
be
Kyrie leading
horrible.
them.
They'd be the worst team
Exactly.
in the league.
Guess what
Exactly.
though? They're basically already horrible. They got swept. They got swept by the Celtics last year. You got KD and Kyrie, and you can't win one game. They're basically
They don't
already
make the
horrible.
playoffs without KD.
They don't, but they might as well have missed it last year if you
Golden
just gonna
State
not
makes
win a
the
game.
playoffs without Steph.
You think this team this year will make the playoffs without Steph?
Last year
I don't know about
without
that.
Steph. They could fight for it. They're a better team. They got a better record than the Nets will without
Play-in
KD.
tournament.
They're
Yeah,
Hey,
making they're making
The
play
Nets
at
team
They
is
least.
they
more
definitely in the
they got a
play-in.
better record with than Brooklyn would.
Absolutely.
yeah,
By far.
they got a better constructed team.
Yeah.
But when you think about this, take their their base forms without Steph, take the Warriors without Steph and the Warriors without KD. Add KD to the Nets, they're still trash. Add Steph to the Warriors and they're a championship team. That's a difference. You go from a team who got swept in the
Okay,
first round to a team who
switch
won the
them.
championship.
Switch teams. Add Steph to the Warriors. What are they? Championship contender. Steph who?
Steph to the Nets,
Steph to the Nets. They're still trash.
they're
Because they'll
better.
throw a
They're better than
thousand
when
off
they
ball
had KD.
screens.
Hell no.
But he
Kyrie
needs
got the
another
ball
duo
in
though.
hand.
He needs a different duo. You can't put Steph and Kyrie
Ooh,
on the
why
same
not
team.
Steph? Not Steph.
That's
Need
bad.
a
That's
duo.
bad for business.
What's
That's
going
bad for
on?
business. Two on ball
All right,
guards.
guys.
You got to get
All
a
right.
routine or
All
something.
right.
We gonna move on from this topic with about 15, 20 minutes left in the show. Anybody else got another topic? Mally, Rob, y'all got any more topics I wanted to bring up? We'll spin back on that for another time, most definitely.
Yeah.
I'll definitely be back.
Mally,
Yeah.
Rob.
Oh, I was gonna talk about. Oh, this is what I was gonna do. I remember now. I was gonna talk about the 2023 class, right? And I was just gonna list
Mhm.
through. I'm gonna list through one player, and another player, and we're gonna future prediction. We don't know what's gonna happen, but who would you draft if you had to draft that player today, right? So my first example one
Like this.
would be and I'm gonna try to keep it players who are similar.
Okay.
Aaron Bradshaw and Matthias Buzelis.
Ooh.
I'm going Aaron Bradshaw.
I like Matas
Bradshaw.
Buzelis there. And Matas Buzelis I like his versatility. You know, he can play 2 through 4.
That's also
And
why I go Matthias for his
yeah,
versatility.
That's
he can
literally
be a
the only
6'2".
reason.
Yeah, he can be a 6'9" 2 guard, shoot the lights out. He got the handle, and his defense isn't there yet. But once you draft him into a good system, I like what he can do. I like his potential. And I like his versatility there. Aaron Bradshaw,
Yeah.
he has the body, he has a frame. I think he'll be a great player in the future. But I think I would take Matas Buzelis over him.
Yeah, I still think Aaron Bradshaw is going to be really good, but he's kind of locked
Absolutely.
in at the 4 or 5 position. Like you said,
Yeah.
I think that Matthias is really going to be a small forward, more of a 2 when he gets like a wing type of guy. So I
Mhm.
think he's just going to have the versatility, like we said.
Yeah.
My fault.
Right now, like I
Yeah.
said, with the way the game going, I'm taking versatility every time. I can teach
Facts.
everything else.
Facts. All
Yeah.
right, my next one.
Oh,
Are you straight?
go ahead. Go ahead.
Now you go. You straight.
No, I was gonna say the thing about Aaron Bradshaw is I got to see him play in the EYBL event in Louisville, and he's legit. He's a legit 7-footer. He can move. You know, who he really reminds me of, not as good coming out of high school, really not even close, but like a poor man's AD. He can stretch the floor. Aaron Bradshaw can shoot the ball, and he's not no like one jumper a month. Like he can actually hit middies, and he's starting to work on his 3 ball a little bit. he blocks shots around the rim. He dunks. He's doing all of this stuff. So his ceiling as a big in the league is very high. He will, if he puts all these pieces together, he can be a quality big in the league almost soon as he gets to the NBA. He's got everything he needs. He's going to be able to stretch the floor. He's mobile. He can move. He can defend. He can do all this stuff at once. Matas Buzelis is like a high risk, high reward type of guy. Now he's probably going to be good too, and he's versatile. I know he's 6'9", he can dribble and he can do all that, so he's going to be good too. But I think Aaron Bradshaw is going to be better at playing that big position than him. So I would go with Aaron Bradshaw just off of what I've seen in person because he's legit and he's going to be nice at Kentucky too. He's going to be probably a lottery pick if he stays healthy for sure.
All right, my next one is DJ Wagner and Isaiah Collier. This one,
I'm gonna go.
I haven't seen Isaiah, but DJ is the real deal. He
Yeah.
got the pedigree from his pops, just from his family. I like the path that he's taking, paying public school, getting all the bump. They going around the nation looking for the best competition. It's something about being able to go win at a high level with your homeboys. That is something I respect. And then, like I said, that program there is a storied program.
Yeah.
So obviously respect over there in Jersey, but I've seen him score with the best of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna take DJ as well there.
yeah, I also take
I'm
DJ. I just think that DJ got a feel for the game that you can't really give to somebody. Like
Yeah,
that's just something that you dang near born with. So DJ's got a
Yeah.
real good feel for the game. And
yeah, no, that's still in him from
Yeah.
that part too,
Isaiah's
for sure.
cold though, for sure.
Yeah,
Isaiah, he's a dog on defense too, which is what I really like about
Yeah,
him. And he plays a real
he got
point
a
guard style game. So
yeah.
he
All right.
does, and he's about getting his teammates involved and stuff. I haven't seen too much of Isaiah Collier, but I'd be interested to see where he goes in college. I'll definitely watch him, check him out a little bit when he gets to the next level for sure.
all right, and my next one I got is Rob Dillingham or Jared McCain.
Hey, can y'all see me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I coached Rob Dillingham when he was in 8th grade at May Hoops Elite Camp in Lexington, Kentucky. This is I'm literally right before he blew up. He is one of the best scorers I have ever seen in my life. Okay, in my life. He don't need to stretch. He don't need to warm up. He don't care who guarding him. It doesn't make a difference. He is going to score. He is Jamal Crawford, dog. Like, it's unreal. And he got, like, when I met him, he couldn't touch the backboard. Now he got bounce. He dunked like.
Yeah, now he
And
does
when
got a
at
little
May
bounce.
Hoops, it was the point guard that played with Bronny. It was what's the boy from Tyler Hero's little brother. It was a what's the AAU team? All of them, like all the top players, but it was a can't miss event, bro. By far, it wasn't even close. He was the best player in the building, and it's like his game. I thought the way he shoots the ball, his form wasn't going to
Yeah,
translate over, and I thought that was
I
just because he
didn't
was
think it.
young.
Yeah,
He shoot it so quick, but it's just he has
yeah, no,
amazing feet.
this
I
shot's
want to see
cash.
him, and he passes the ball more than people give him credit for. But I really, really want to see him give a little bit more effort on the defensive end.
Yes,
But
that's all he's
because
got to do.
he's not even working hard to score. That's the crazy part. Like I don't
Yeah,
care
no,
where I've seen him. He's not trying that hard offensively. So I want to see him exert some effort on the defensive end at a higher level. Not to say he don't play defense, but when offense comes that easy to you, I want to see you put a lot more effort towards defense. So
yeah,
listen, Jesus Christ, I have to be in that class for me to go against Robert Dillingham. I'm going with Rob.
yeah. I'm gonna go with Rob too.
I will say, if I'm drafting an NBA prospect, I'm taking Rob Dillingham, absolutely. However, if I want a college point guard, I'm gonna go Jared McCain.
Oh
Jared
yeah,
McCain
it's easy. That's easy.
he is a winner. That boy is a winner.
See,
Hey,
He
he got
has
a clip too.
yes,
and
like
Yeah,
that's
he
the
he's
got a
reason.
absolutely
trap.
solid point guard. He's gonna play defense. He's gonna get you and his rebounding is absolutely underrated as well. He's gonna get you rebounds. He's gonna pass the ball. He's gonna facilitate your team, and he's gonna win that game for you with any means possible.
Do you
Right.
know who he
So,
reminds me of?
who would you say?
Howard Campbell from
Who?
UCLA.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yes, 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 yes.
Obviously, Jared
I
shoots
like
it a
that.
little bit
I
better.
really like that comparison.
See, and yeah, and
Body
those are
size.
really the reasons why I'm going with Jared. I will go Jared over Rob, but I told y'all like the last podcast we talked about it. I love the little things, and to me,
Yeah,
Jared does all the little things right. Like even when he's playing in a game that doesn't like AAU, he was playing in games that don't really matter that much. He's still hustling. He still chase every rebounds. He'll be on a fast breaking transition. He's trying to throw his man in the post. Like Jared does all the little things you need to win a basketball. So to me,
yeah.
them is the things that I love to see out of kids. So I would have to go with Jared.
And he's won everything as that a high school player can do. He's
He's a
won
winner.
every national championship there is to win.
Public school bump too. I like him. He played
Yeah.
public school.
Yeah. No, he's good. I think Jared's definitely more. He's definitely more of a complete player as of today. But I think if Rob just
Yeah.
once he gets that defensive part down, he could. I mean, he'd be the top guard in his draft class. He
Yeah.
could be a top 3 pick if he just get some start getting steals, at least be able to stay in front of his man. Just
Work on his body.
show some passion on that end.
Yeah.
But yeah, his scoring is that OTE game. It
Yeah.
looked like he can do that in his sleep.
Yeah.
Like that's
He's
easy.
really chilling. That's the
Yeah. Nah,
crazy
he's
part.
chilling. Yeah.
They said he was playing. They said he was playing like he was Jordan Poole when baddies pull up to the game.
Now he
Yeah.
really was just trying stuff. Like some of the stuff is just I promise when you look at it, it's like you're not really giving full effort. You're just trying to do
Yeah.
something that you've been
Yeah.
working
Yeah.
on at the park.
And
No,
I
He's out
also
there
want to
playing with
add
them.
that it is possible. It's very like people that are counting him out on defense. It's very possible for a player that is strictly offensive to add defense to the game. I'm gonna
Yeah.
throw
that's what the league is.
absolutely because one of my favorite players in the NBA, it's not a secret, Cam Reddish. When he was in high school, his biggest question was his effort and his defense because he didn't play defense. He didn't give no effort. He was barely getting back on defense. Now he's a lockdown defender. He's guarding the best player on the team on the court every single time he's out there. So it's
Yep.
very possible for a high school prospect to add defense to their game, and I want to see
Yeah.
Rob Dillon.
One thing I do want to point out, you made a great point, that everybody, like how you said, making that translation when you get to the higher levels.
Mm-hmm.
One of the people from Clarksville, where I'm from, uh, Trenton Hassel, he played on the same high school team as Sean Marion. He led them in scoring when he was in high school. Then at Austin P, he went to the local school, Austin P. He was one of the top scorers in the country, averaging over 23 points a game his whole career there, right? He got to college. I mean, he got to the NBA, and he played defense. Like, he didn't
Yeah.
make his money for scoring, but yes, he's capable of scoring. But like you said, like I said earlier, the league is full of superstars and role players. He played and started and had a illustrious career, but his best seasons were with the Timberwolves. He played with Sam Cassell and Kevin Garnett. He was in the starting
Yeah.
lineup for them. And yeah, he
And it,
scored the ball and all that, but
yeah.
he was a primary stopper, and he gets millions of dollars for that. So everybody is capable of transitioning. When you get to a certain level, that ego goes out the door
Yep.
because you realize you're out there with better players. So
Yeah.
I know Rob can do it. He just ain't.
It's funny. It's funny that you use that quote because the person that quote came from was Patrick Beverly. He look at him. He's a defensive player, and he averaged 36 in high school.
With
Like,
Derrick Rose and all in the school.
yep.
Yeah.
Like that. It's. I want to see Rob Dillingham add that defensive aspect to his game, and if he does,
So
that's gonna be cold.
Yeah.
Did you have any more, Mally?
No, those was all the ones I had.
All right. Rob, did you have any topics you wanted to bring up today or no?
Nah, that's okay. It's
All right.
okay. I wanted to talk about the Cavs a little bit, but I know
Oh, you
y'all had
missed it.
already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you missed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nah,
We
I
touched
was
on that.
listening. I was listening the whole time. I ain't missed none of the topics. I just ain't
Yeah.
get to chime in a little bit, but it's all good.
Oh, good. I wanted to bring up one of my topics. I wanted to point out that the Lakers. So LeBron is 1-5. Who else is there? KD is 2-6. Steph Curry is 3-5. James Harden It's 4-4. They started off 1-4, but I like the last week they had. They went 3-0 last week. They're 4-4 now. And Kawhi's team, which is the Clippers, even though he's not playing too much, is 3-4. Are we seeing a new change of the guard at who is the top of the league? And is this the new era of basketball that's coming towards us?
I give it 2 years.
No.
I,
Nah,
I give it 2
it's
years.
gonna take some more time. It's gonna take some more time. It's not ready to do like that. Teams start off low. Even the young teams that are starting off good, some of them teams will start to wash out through the season, and then Philly will start picking it up, and the Warriors will definitely start picking it up. So I mean, there's certain teams that it's gonna be a little flip, but no, these dudes are starting to get old now. If you look at everybody's age, not everybody's like LeBron, and he's 38, and he will be 38. And he's out here doing stuff like he's 22 and all that. But Steph is getting old. Steph is gonna be 35, and KD is gonna be about to turn 35. So I mean, all these young guys coming up, it's about to be Giannis. It's definitely about to be Giannis's league for sure. But I wouldn't say it's a new era yet, but it's definitely it's about to be in that direction
I
for
think
sure.
it's sooner than a lot of people think. Like I said, I give it
Yeah,
about 2 to 3 years, because at that time you got guys like John Morant, Cade Cunningham, and them. They'll have those 3 years under their belt. They'll be good.
yeah,
So I think by that time that we will see a changing of it. But not right now. As of right now, no, because I think Steph Curry is still the best
yeah,
player in the league. And I think that, like you said, that some teams are gonna have it turn around. Like, we still very early on in the year. Teams is still running 10-man, 11-man rotations. Like,
yeah,
after the All-Star break and they tighten those rotations up, guys start taking the games more seriously. We'll see it
yeah,
things balance back out, but it won't be too much longer though.
yeah.
Y'all at the
A
West?
lot of
Y'all
these,
been my fault. Y'all going to the Western game?
yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I got to work
Rick's
here
gonna
soon.
play just about everybody these first couple of games. All
yeah,
right. Here in a minute, he's gonna start playing 11, 10, 9, and as y'all know, Rick will play 7 and be just fine with it.
Yeah.
yeah,
And that's at the college level. So imagine the league. They gonna let everybody rock out first. They trying to figure out who going to the G League, who gonna be on
yeah,
two-way. Contract stuff is still going on right now. Dudes just trying to get in shape. You got some people who didn't work out this year, work out this
yeah,
summer and off season. So they trying to get that rust off, and they still front office changes. The front runners that we know will continue to be the front runners.
Yeah. And you bring up a good point. I didn't have this written down, but I did want to talk about this on a podcast here soon, and I wanted to put it on TikTok. And I guess this is the perfect time to do it since we have you on the show. Chris, how do you feel about this Western Kentucky team that we have this year as one of the most underrated teams in the country? And what do you think the ceiling is for this team this year?
I think very highly of this team coming in. Not even just because I was a part of the staff last year, just the upside of experience with Davion having a career, a national career best season. Him coming back at the helm with the ball. Jamarion just taking a big jump in his college career, and that he has bigger expectations, not only of everyone else thinking that he's going to be good, but he has bigger expectations of himself. Um, and then the new pieces that we brought in, and then those young guys and those returners are integral pieces. So the guys that were here last year are ready and know their roles and have a better feel of what's going on. And then those new guys come in are going to make instant impact, all of them. So I think it's NCAA tourney or nothing. I think it's we got to
yeah,
win the conference. Is all or none. I think they have an opportunity to really go make a run in the NCAA tournament just because the matchups, and the versatility. So
Yes.
the Boise State transfer can guard 2 through 4.
Emmanuel Acott. Yep.
Marion can switch a ball screen, and now he's continuing to be more. He's growing as an offensive player. Nobody in the country can stay in front of Davion. Luke and Christian and all the other guards coming back as shooters, and then Rawls, another ball handler and a great defender. They're
And
just
he's
really
super
deep.
underrated.
Um,
Super
my
underrated.
my guy, what's my boy? That's crazy. He gonna kill me when he see this. Transferred in last year from
So
from
you
Maryland.
talk you talking about Wu? Or
No,
we got?
I love LaWoo. Uh, uh,
Oh, you talking about Jay Hammy?
Ham is
Yep,
going to explode. What he showed in the first half of the season, he's going to come right in and bring it because now he knows his role. He has to understand. He got his feet wet. He now the monkey off his back. He's going to explode and have an amazing season. This
yep,
year, we're not going to have nobody's going to have to be Superman. Everybody can just do their
yep,
job and go home. The key for Western to be good is for everybody to know where to be and know what to do when they get there.
yep.
Yeah.
And they'll be fine. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I
and I
think it's
wanted
NCAA.
and I wanted to say it here first and make the bold prediction. It's not very bold to say that this team is an NCAA tournament team. I have high beliefs that this Western Kentucky University team will be an NCAA team. But I want to make the prediction that we will get into the top 25 this year. And do not be surprised if we are an undefeated team or a one-loss team going into conference play this year.
Mm.
Because
Okay.
I'm putting the UAB game. That's the only game
yeah,
that I
Yeah.
want to see.
And I was just about to bring up UAB. The only team that can compete with them, that should be able to compete with WKU in Conference USA is UAB. It's because they got Jordan Walker.
Jordan
And he's
Walker,
nice.
he's a
And
dog.
then
He's nice.
Eric Gaines is nice
He's more
too.
than
And
tough.
he,
Yeah,
he
he's
can jump out
tough.
the gym.
Jordan
Yeah.
Walker
So
ain't nice. He's tough.
yeah,
He's
he's tough. After he hit that shot last year, in Diddle, I was like, man, can y'all get up on that screen?
yeah,
Like, bro,
that hurt my heart.
Keep
I
in
did
mind,
not
bro, we
like
played
how
a lot of good
Jamarion
guards.
was guarding that ball screen. I was like, I know he's too far back. He's gonna
But
pull that.
like stuff like that is he's so much better about that kind of stuff
Yeah,
now. Like he
yeah,
understand like people don't realize he's only been playing basketball like seriously for like 4 years, the last 4 years.
yeah,
Before then he was just tall, they put him on the team just cuz. But now he's actually taking it serious, he's embracing it. So he's gonna be a lot better. But Jordan Walker, we played a lot of good guards this year. Ronaldo Segu played in the summer league with the Memphis Grizzlies. He was the starting
yeah,
point guard for UB. He was tough. We played a lot of good guards, FAU guard. But Jordan Walker was everything for anybody who's watching. Everything you see on YouTube, he's that for real.
yeah. No, he is. I'm not
And
gonna
he
lie,
was
he
talking
is.
stuff in shoot around. He had that. He liked that. Making
He
Yeah,
threes,
was. I don't know if
using
y'all
the
saw
ball
that or not. He was
screen.
out there. He was talking. He was talking stuff from the top. He came in to the top. He left, and he backed it
yeah.
up. He
Look,
was
he hit
talking
the
stuff to
game
me.
winner,
Y'all
and I
wasn't even
think
playing.
he ran up to the little scorers table and was like
I was
I
talking
gonna be a
remember
crazy.
that.
problem.
Yeah,
I
But
didn't
yeah,
I
think
was
they
like,
was
yeah.
gonna make it
man,
out. I didn't think they was gonna make it out.
yeah,
He was talking crazy to me. I'm not on the team. I'm not on the team.
Crazy.
nah, for real.
No, but he's cold, and I love that. I'm one of those guys. I want you to talk crazy. I want you to get out there on that court. Talking is a part of basketball,
Yeah, I
and
was up on
I
some
don't
Henny.
like seeing people. I mean, it's cool to be humble, but if you got that, if you out there talking on the court and you can back it up, I love to see that.
Yeah,
It makes the
long
game
as you
more
back it up.
entertaining. Yep. But we just hit about our 1 hour mark where we usually like to leave stuff off. Anybody had any closing remarks before I close it off?
No, I think we good.
And I just wanted to say
Yeah,
a big thank you to Coach Chris here for joining us this week as our special guest. We have a lot of more episodes, and we'll try to go live again next Tuesday, and we'll definitely keep everybody updated. Thank you, everybody.
yeah.
All
Appreciate
right,
you,
yep.
Chris.